Welcome once more to Relating Relationship with Desmond Nkosi. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm alone today, and I had such a wonderful conversation in our last session with Pastor Mbongeni. And there's something, and there's a statement that he says there that I would love us to ponder on, right? I want to think about it, but I'm going to think out loud, and I want you guys to think with me. And let's have this conversation. Please listen to this statement that he says, and then let's have this conversation.
The best gift that you can give to your partner is the gift of yourself.
You heard him. He says the best gift you can give to your spouse is a gift of yourself. That got my attention. It really got my attention. To say, in a relationship, in a marriage, the best gift that you can give to the next person that you love, it's yourself. And though this is such a powerful statement, it got me thinking. Because now I'm thinking, what is this self that you're giving? Is this self bad? Because if this self is bad, I don't think your spouse will see it as a gift. Or your wife will see, or your husband will see it as a gift. Or the people around you will see it as a gift. So it got me thinking again, and it pushed me to this idea of how much we really need to work on self. How much we need to start thinking about ourselves. You know, when I was attending a course on coaching, one of the things that they did, they said we must write 3 of the most important things in our lives. 3, just list 3. And I wish I could actually do this exercise with you. If you really want to, you can do this. Write these 3, and you can actually stop here while you're thinking about it and writing them down. And then you can carry on with the conversation, right? So at this point in time, I'm guessing you probably did stop the recording so that you can write the 3 things that are important in your life. And I remember I wrote the 3 things. And the 3 things that if I remember, I wrote the most important things were my wife, my children, my parents. Right? And it sounds good. My wife, my children, my parents. But one thing, and most of us, we wrote things, and the coach came back and said to us, why is it that none of you have written them? Why don't you write you as one of the most important things in your life? And it dawned on me, Uti, what we do, we so much care about everything else, everybody else, that we don't care about ourselves. And yet we are the ones that continuously need to give. Wherever you are present. You can never be outside of you, if that makes sense. You can never leave yourself somewhere else. And that's why I always say, if every time you appear, the same problems appear around you, then we need to start realizing that no, the problems are coming with a common denominator, which is always you, which is always me, right? So it made me think about that. And the coach said something as well that was important. He says that's why when you're in the plane, they say in case of an emergency, when the masks come down, you need to take that mask and put it on yourself first. Even if I'm sitting with my children and my wife or whoever's sitting next to me, they say the first thing you must do is you take that mask, you put it on yourself. And I was like, yes, that's what they say, but why? Because I remember when they said that, I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I want to put it on my wife first, because I think I was sitting next to her in the plane. I'm going to put it on her first, because I want to save her life first, you know? And he explains, he says, the reason for that is so that you can be fully capable of helping the next person. So if I'm able to breathe properly, if I'm taking care of myself, if I've closed all the blind spots, I can breathe properly because of this mask. So whatever happens, if my wife passes out, I am still able, I'm fit enough to help her because I am taken care of. That whole picture of the aeroplane made me realize that now that means there is something that I need to do to self so that self can be fully capable of helping the next person, right? So self needs to be taken care of. And when I was thinking about this, I got this, somebody posted this on their status. I cannot remember who it is. And it says unknown who the author is. And I want to read this. It says, you are the greatest project you'll ever work on. You and me are the greatest project that you can ever work on. And then he says, restart, reset, refocus as many times as you need. You are the greatest project you'll ever work on. Sometimes we get so busy with other stuff. We get so busy with wanting to be loved more than to love. We get so busy with wanting to be understood more than we understand. We get so busy with the external forces in our lives looking inside instead of focusing on the internal space of our life looking outside. So when your perception or your perspective is, what is this project that I need to work on? In my marriage, right now at this point in time, I've said to you guys, I've been married for 18 years now to my wife Terry, who I miss so much in this show, but she's promised me that she's gonna come back. In my relationship with her, what is it that is, or what is it that I'm accepting to affect the way that I relate with her that is more external than that which is internal? What is it that is internal in me that is affecting my marriage negatively? So if for example, my challenge is I'm dealing with a certain kind of inferiority, right? I've been around people that never listens to me. I'm the last born at home. So everything that was said by everybody else mattered more than what was said by me. Now I'm in a relationship with my wife, and she says something, and I flip, right? I flip, I'm angry, I react, or whatever it is. And what usually would happen is when people ask me what happened, I'll blame her. I'll say, she said this, she did this. But the truth of the matter is it really what she said? Or did what she said trigger something that I had not dealt with internally? And therefore, I'm allowing these external forces to affect me. Now I'm angry with her, but why are you angry with her? You know, while I'm talking about this, I was yesterday, I lecture as well at our Bible school at church. And we were talking about this exact same thing, right? And I was saying to them, you know, when you have not dealt with self, you'll find yourself in a situation whereby there is let's say 10 students in the class. I say something as a lecture. I say something, out of 10 students, all 9 of them, they receive it well. They say it was positive, it was encouraging, it was this and this. And only one person finds something wrong, completely wrong with it. And I was saying, one thing that I've learned, I was telling my students that one thing that I've learned in my marriage is sometimes when I react in a certain way, it is because what was said has triggered something in me that I've never dealt with. So when I start now looking internal and say, okay, what is it that makes me really angry about what my wife has said? What is it that makes me really angry about what my boss has said? What is it that makes me angry about whoever said what? Why is it that is hitting me and not hitting all the other people? So this self that we're talking about, when Musa said, when Mbogini said that the best gift you can give to your wife, to your spouse, is the gift of self. And then it makes me realize that there's a lot of work to do. We have so much work to do with self. That's why I love this quote that says, your greatest project you'll ever work on, you are the greatest project that you can ever work on. So with that said, how do I work on what? What is it that now you've said then we need for this project? What is this project? What exactly is this project? And for me, one of the projects that I had to work on was inferiority complex. I had dealt with inferiority complex from the environment that I grew up in, to a home that I grew up in, to a family structure that I grew up in, being the middle child, the only boy within 3 girls for most of the time. I had to at one point deal with inferiority complex, where I felt as if I'm the least. If there's a group of people, everybody is important except me, right? And though I dealt with it before I got married, I'm aware of how sometimes it may come out in marriage. And with that, then I need to come up with ways with how then do I deal with this issue. So let me give you a real thing that happened. So one of the things with inferiority complex is you're always trying to draw attention to yourself, right? And sometimes the drawing of attention can be negative. It's crazy. I've tried to explain this to my wife. And what you're seeking for actually is you're seeking for control, right? Because all along people were controlling you, controlling the outcome, controlling how you behave. So in seeking, in my case, in seeking for control, I would reject people that would show interest in me. And I will seek acknowledgement from people that were rejecting me. I don't know if that makes sense. Right? And I'm just now, this is me, I'm just opening myself out to you, right? Yeah, I am. I'm doing that with the danger that comes with it and stuff. But this is what we are all about. So with that, at school, then I would struggle. Then the people that I want to be around with, they don't want to be around me. The people that want to be around me, I don't want to be around them, because now they're choosing me. I'm not the one who's choosing them, because I want control, remember? So I wanted to choose, not to be chosen. It's crazy. So in this project and the awareness of saying, no, man, I'm dealing with this issue. How do I deal with it? I don't want it. I don't like feeling the way that I'm feeling. I hate feeling the way that I'm feeling. And there's a statement that I heard that changed my whole perception about it. It was one statement said once, and it made so much sense. And the reason it made so much sense is because it's something that I was going through, right? So this is what the statement said. It said, you'll get more people interested in you by being interested in them versus trying to get people interested in you by being interested in yourself. I'm going to say it again. So it says, I'll get more people interested in me by being interested in them versus getting people interested in me by being interested in me. Mina, ngizithande mina, and want people to love me. And that statement for me was like a breaking point. And the project started. And the project was, when I needed to work on is, I needed to be more interested in other people, care more about other people, seek friendship. And I'm not seeking it now from a place of desperation. I'm seeking it because I want what I'm giving out to be given back to me. Right? And it's funny enough because this was a project, right? It took time, but it's true, I had to restart so many times. In what I was doing, I would get hurt. I would have to reset and say, hey, this hurt I've felt before, but I'm working on something new. Like almost I was talking, the conversation that we had on procrastination, and then when he was saying you have to be kind to yourself, and he was building this picture of the new you going back to the old you and being kind to the old you, to say, you know what, now this is a direction that we are going, so we're going to be patient. So when you fail, restart. When you default, reset. When your focus is moved away, refocus. And then it says there, as many times as you need. I told you all that story to say this. There is so much that we need to work on, which is us. We have so many times allowed the external forces of life to affect our internal spaces. When my producer was sitting behind the camera, when he's angry, then I also get angry. And then when I'm asked, why exactly are you angry? And the truth is then, if you really think about it, you'll be stuck in most cases. Why am I angry? Because he was angry, he reacted in a way that showed his anger. Now I took his anger, made it mine. And now I'm taking this anger, I'm throwing it back to him. And I think if I throw it back to him, it's even better. What we usually do is then we throw it to everybody else around us. So how much of the external forces have you allowed to affect your internal forces? How many times have you waited for other people to approve you instead of approving yourself? How many times have you seek so much of approval of other people that you get to a point of not even recognizing yourself? So what is it that you need to work on? You want to get married. Let's talk about that. Let's say you want to get married, right? Or you want to have a best friend. I don't know how many of you have ever had a best friend. A best friend in a sense of somebody who loves you because of who you are, as much as you love them for who they are. How many of you have ever seek to have that kind of a relationship? Now, maybe it's not happening. This is a time to now start looking at self and say, what is it that self is doing that is pushing these people away? And this you're doing this for yourself. Oh, Pamela, one of the comments that she has, and I'm paraphrasing, in one of our sessions, he says we need to work on our shadows so that when we meet the people that we love, they find, or they meet the real us, who's dealt with these shadows. But what I'm saying to you is these shadows don't sometimes just end overnight. These shadows are things that you continuously have to work on. That's why you need to restart as many times as you need to. You need to reset and refocus as many times as you need to. The relationships that you are having, why are they all ending the same? Why is it that when every time you got a friend, after a year of that friendship, we are enemies? Not with one person, not with only two people. It looks like it's a norm. And if that is true to you, that means there is a work that you need to do on self. So that the best gift that you can give to others is the self that is content, the self that is aware, the self that is in love, so much with itself that is able to give that love away or give that love to others. I've spoken to guys, and we talk with guys, and we talk about those who are still looking. They talk about girlfriends, and it's like, hey, so where's that girl? Where's Sarah? Where's that girl that I last saw you with? No, man, we broke up. Oh, okay, what happened? No, we had an argument, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna deal with this. So there's a particular one person where I was so close to him when I think he was still in college. I was so close to this friend of mine, to a point whereby I stopped befriending his girlfriends. Right? We were still at school at the time, and the reason I stopped befriending his girlfriends was I'll be friend with this girlfriend, and then she's gone. Now there's another one. Now I must be friend with this girlfriend, and funny enough, there's this guilt now that you befriending this one, that one is gone, and then this one is gone. And we had a conversation, and I said, Goye, but have you realized that your relationships last a maximum of 6 months? And when we had this conversation, it went on, and it turned out, this is a conversation that we had, to say, one thing I've learned is when you talk about relationships, you talk about phases, right? We all know that there's a honeymoon stage where everything is fine, we don't argue. If you are right, my babes, you are always right, and you are always right, and you stay on the phone for too long. That season. When that season ends, what I've learned is one of the seasons that comes is being comfortable. Right? So this girl is comfortable enough now to say no to you. When you would come and say, hey, let's go to such and such a place, she'd be like, Ish, I've got plans, but it's fine, let's go. Now she's like, or he is like, okay, I think I'm talking about she because I'm talking about this particular story. Now the girlfriend, she's like, no, I don't want to go there. No, but let's go. But you remember we went and we had fun. Hey, Marasoa Bora, right? No, I don't want to go. Actually, I don't like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Actually, I don't want to do this anymore. Actually, this is who I am. And then it's like, this who you are now is not agreeing with what I want to see, so I'm leaving. And every 6 months, you get to that point of your life and you leave. And then you wonder why. And the thing is that this is the truth of life, is you don't get promoted until you pass the test. Maybe that's why We got stuck in certain things for too long because we never passed the test. Let's go back to what we were talking about. So the self. I want to read this second one, and probably I will close it off with this one. This again, it says, the topic says uncommon advice, and really I agree with that. It says, if you don't know what to pursue in your life right now, pursue yourself. I love it. How many of us don't know? But what's your calling? What's your vision? What do you think you are called for? What do you think you're destined for? It says, if you don't know what to pursue in your life right now, pursue yourself. Pursue becoming the healthiest, the happiest, the most healed, the most present, the most confident version of yourself. Then the right path will reveal itself. Can I read that again? It says, if you don't know what to pursue in life right now, pursue yourself. Pursue becoming the healthiest, the happiest, the most healed. This one I love, the most present, most confident version of yourself. Then the right path will reveal itself. And going back to the statement, Sagambongen, this best gift that you can give, which is self, needs to be the happiest, needs to be the healthiest, needs to be the most healed. What are the things that you need to be healed from? What are the things that you need to go seek help to be healed from? Because you know what, when you have healed, it makes it easier for people to love you. It makes it easier to be loved. But above all, it makes it easier for you to love. Because you don't love from the point of hurt, you love from the point of being held. Be the most present. Present in your thoughts, present in your behavior, present in your mindset. Be present. One of the things that I'm working on, Mina, now is being a proactive listener. Is there a word like that? Proactive. So listen and be proactive in listening. Listen and hear what people. My wife is very good at this. My wife is very good at this. We will be in the same counseling session, and somebody will be talking. And when we sit together and we discuss what we heard, and I'm like, were we even in the same room? I feel like I was not in that room. I didn't even hear that. I'm working on that. That's me working to be present, right? So be the most present. Be the most confident. Woo, confident. There's a statement that says, and I hope I'm going to put it right, but if it's wrong, you fix it. It says, confident looks good on people even better than makeup. Oh, I've seen people who are confident. Not arrogant, confident. Not selfish, but confident. I've seen people who are confident. And, you know, like you just fall in love with the confidence that they have. And that confidence comes from being present. It comes from being happy. That confidence definitely comes from being healed. What is it that you, in your life, that you're picking up that you need to work on? I've got stuff that I'm working on. Musa has stuff that he's working on. My wife, definitely, I can tell her stuff that she needs to work on. Ooh, I'm gonna be in trouble. But we all have something to work on. What I'm saying is, let's work on ourselves. Let's work on being the best that we can. If you need to go study something that's going to make you the best that you can be, study it. If you need to stop doing something that is not making you to be the best that you can be, stop it. when you start working on yourself, and I'm closing, I want to close with this. When you start working on yourself, you'll be careful with what you listen to. You'll be careful who you listen to. You'll be careful who you follow or who follows you. You'll be careful what you pay attention to, what you allow your eyes to see, how much time you spend on something. How many times do I get affected by external forces or triggered by external forces? Find help. One of the things is we run a company called Youth Date Communications, where we do coaching, right? And we do marriage counseling, we do business coaching, we do relational coaching, right? We're learning now to want to get to a space of the mindset coaching. And what we do, and this is one thing I love for me personally, what I love about coaching, life coaching, transformational coaching, we believe that each person has a solution to their problem. We don't need to come up with solutions for you. You've got solutions for a problem. What we do in coaching is we direct you to that solution. But all of us, let's find help so that we can be the best version of ourselves, and we can be able to be the best gift that we give to others. Thank you so much for listening to me rant all on my own. This, again, I said to you, I'm just thinking based on what Mbongeni has said, and I'm just thinking out loud. I want to hear what you have to say. I'm not an expert. And you'll see, most cases in this show, we bring people that have gone through stuff or have an understanding of a certain topic. So I'm not an expert. This is just me speaking what I feel and what has come across and challenged me from that last session. So thank you once more. This is Relating Relationships, where we are addicted to good conversations with Desmond Nkosi. Thank you so much for giving me your time.
We depend on you, Jesus. We rely on you. We depend.